Good morning, everyone. And now I'm wearing my really good glasses. And it looks like there's some interference going on here. Hmm. Sissy went to work. She says, we should put the coffee pot, we're organizing the kitchen now, over there where the water is and the refrigerator, right? It's much easier early in the morning when you're getting your coffee, pour the coffee, open the fridge, it's right next. Okay, pour a little milk, and all right. And the water dispenser or the drinking water dispenser is just a little over to the side. I said, well, okay, I'll do that. So I did, and well, again, huh, this isn't something I'm going to say. Well, I want the coffee pot where I want it. That's just silly. You should try. Okay, and I seldom use the coffee pot down here. Anyway, I've got my espresso machine upstairs. So, okay, so then I switched all the coffee stuff over and then the cabinet right above. Actually, it works out really well, okay? And then that freed up the other side above there where, oh, now I can put more of the, like, extra oil, spices, and this and that. Okay, that works out good. And then I looked at the counter space right next to the stove. And I'm going, oh, well, looky there. I got my counter space here right next to the stove. I'm having a hard time getting used to all this counter space and not still prepping everything on that one extra table that we have kind of like as an island in the middle of the kitchen where I did everything. It's a slow progress. And one of our horses has thrush. That's a stinky affair. Hey, I saw him limping yesterday when I came in. I'm going, I wonder what's going on. I was hoping, oh, please don't let it be another one of those nails or something that nobody realized because nobody been cleaning out their hooves. And it's not like it has to be done every day, but at least once a week, right? Or twice a week, right? Their hoofs need to be checked because they're all out there, this and that. All kinds of things can happen. And I thought, oh, please, not another 2 weeks of draining something. And our horses are really good about these kind of things, but still. So I let him in, and he's eating, and I'm going, he's not going to like me to mess with him while he's eating. I go in there, and I have to hoof pick, and I'm checking, and sure enough, he doesn't want to lift his leg. Come on now. So I keep trying, and eventually he does while he's eating. And I'm looking and I'm seeing, I'm going, oh gosh, oh no, oh, how long has this been going on? It takes a while for thrush to expand the way it has on his hoof. There's another thing with thrush like that. The other horses can get it too. So I have to check everybody this morning. Of course, I cleaned him out, and he was sore. You could tell the back of his hoof was of his foot was swelled up, and I didn't notice. No, I was too busy cleaning the barn out, and yeah. Anyway, and SF not taking care of the horses in how long? Yeah, 3 months. More than that now, almost 4 months. I've not petted him to snap, but right, I wasn't the one in charge. So cleaned it out. Yeah, he let me. It's interesting every time horses know, oh, okay, this is, it hurts, but it's going to get better now. And I got the comfrey and I disinfected everything, and the comfrey will also pull the bacteria out and kill the bacteria. So anyway, now that has to be taken care of. It's a rainy day. I might just leave him in dry sawdust, and the way I'm treating it, it should not just take 2-3 days, and it'll be taken care of. That again, yeah, yep. So that's kind of been the news here. Dogs are gone. Their food is ready. I gotta go to the barn in a little bit. I smell like barn. I'm wearing my barn clothes. Ugh, there's so much to do before winter. Little by little. And we'll see what else happens next. All right, let's keep going in our babble. I'm not really watching any news anymore. I did hear some things going on again in certain places in our country, and it's like, I just hear it from other people. And I'm like, well, too bad. Don't know what to say about it anymore. And otherwise, yeah, anyway, this is the best I can do here. So let's continue on this. Let's see what is next here in Samuel. David and David's adventures, we could call him that. Yeah, well, there you go, another battle. This is 1 Samuel 31, Battle of Mount Gilboa and Death of Saul. Oh, well. The Philistines gave battle to Israel, and the Israelites, fleeing from the Philistines, fell and were slaughtered on Mount Gilboa. Oh, God wasn't with them. The Philistines bore down on Saul and his sons, and they killed Jonathan. Oh, not Jonathan. Aw. Aw. Oh, that's the last chapter here. Little chapter of 1 Samuel, guys. Abinadab and Malchishua, Saul's sons. All three of them. The fighting grew fiercer round Saul. The archers came upon him, and he was severely wounded by the archers. Saul then said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and run me through with it. I do not want these uncircumcised men to come and make fun of me." But his armor-bearer was very much afraid and would not do it. So Saul took his own sword and fell on it. His armor-bearer, seeing that Saul was dead, fell on his sword too and died with him. Thus died Saul, his 3 sons, and his armor-bearer, together on the same day. When the Israelites who were on the other side of the Jordan saw that the Israelites had been routed and that Saul and his sons were dead, they abandoned their towns and fled. The Philistines then came and occupied them. When the Philistines came on the following day to strip the dead, they found Saul and his 3 sons lying on Mount Gilboa. They cut off his head, and stripping him of his armor, had these carried round the territory of the Philistines to proclaim the good news to their idols and their people. They put his armor in the temple of Astarte, and his body they fastened to the walls of Beth Shean. When the inhabitants of Jabesh and Gilead heard what the Philistines had done to Saul, the warriors all set out, and having marched all night, took the bodies of Saul and his sons up the walls of Beth-shean. They brought them to Jabesh and burned them there. Then they took their bones and buried them under the tamarisk of Jabesh and fasted for 7 days. Okay, that's the end of 1 Samuel, the first book of Samuel, and the death of Saul and all his sons. Ay, ay, ay. But men all do for whatever. Ugh, and the just awful ways that they then just violated dead people too. The Israelites did that too, didn't they? They all did it. There seems to be no honor among men when it comes to that. because I heard other stories where generals fought against each other and one won and the other one didn't and was given an honorable death and buried honorably, this and that, right? Yes? Well, okay, whatever. And it isn't just about Saul and his 3 sons and his armor bearer, right? How many Israelites died? They don't mean a thing, do they? It's all about the higher ups. All right, then. So, I can't see Israel thrive with all this war going on all the time. And if people have been listening, it's not just one side that continuously attacks, is it? Okay. No honor among men. Hmm. And these things keep going on now as well. You don't think so? I told the story before, not telling it again, what I've witnessed firsthand through pictures of a mercenary soldier. And I just stood there and I looked and I thought, well, okay. I don't understand that. I remember when I was a child, we would go on field trips with the schools to the different castles, right, that we have there. And in these castles, I mean, they're exactly as people see in the movies and stuff. They're all built with huge rocks and stones, and chiseled to fit whatever, and the inside looks just like that. And then they have the basement there where they had the jails with the iron, bars and all that. It's just as creepy. And the torture rooms and the torture devices. I, it was difficult for me to go to places like that. When I didn't know better, like the first couple of times or whatever, I went there, and of course, it was the people think, well, it's all in the past, it's all gone, this, that. That's why. I got you now. This is what's going on here. The I said, we think it's all in the past. It's done for, right? Yes. I mean, there wasn't any blood or anything left. That's, oh, somebody was just tortured here, right? Not too long ago. The smell, that wasn't there really anymore, of all that. But the walls were still screaming. They were screaming. I'd be down. My skin would just crawl. The hair on my neck would stand up. I'm not kidding. It was like I'd be there for a few minutes and I'd have to leave. I'd had to leave. It was that bad for me, to be surrounded by so much spiritual anguish. Anguish. Oh, that human beings are capable of doing that to other human beings. Yes? Often for very little offenses or none. We can hear from Saul's story on how fearful and, how do you say, the word now. How fearful he was of someone in his own ranks taking his life, right? Yes. How fearful he was of the people closest to him, right? It's a surprise that knowing how his son Jonathan supported David, that he hadn't killed him. Right? Yes, out of fear that his own son would kill him. Mm. Well, anyway, I think that if we truly listen with God's guidances with all that, right? When he told Samuel, you don't need a king. That's not my will. It's going to be a mess. But that's what the people want. I guess then they're going to have to experience that on their own. I think that in the world, since a long time ago, obviously, if you want to take this as the truth, people have been misguided on what leadership is. Yeah, you can have the talent of leading the people and assigning things to the proper people to do things. And God taught the Israelites that as well. When they did what? When they built the Ark of the Covenant. Right? Certain people did this, certain people did that. They were what? Experts in all these little details. Bigger things, smaller things. But they were the experts. So when someone that's guiding the people, okay, this is what needs to be done. Right? You're qualified for this, you're qualified for that, you're going to do this, yes. Then you have some volunteers helping those guys. Then who becomes suddenly also a guide in getting a project done, getting certain things done, running smoothly? The people that are assigned to it. Yes? Okay. Then, of course, as soon as you have, for example, a board, a piece of wood, and a hammer and a nail in your hands, then you become what? The guide towards, okay, where that goes. Is that true? Same with a sewing needle, or a sewing machine and a piece of cloth. You were maybe assigned to do something, yes, produce a certain garment. As soon as you have the tools in your hands, you become the guide to what? The garment. Okay, you see how that works? There is no need for people like pyramid schemes where there's some at the top there that knows what the heck they're doing up there. I'm so far down here, don't even know what the heck they're doing up there because I'm not a part of it. None of us is a part of it. What did I start out with? Chaos again in some cities here in the United States. I don't know why. Don't get it. Why people are so out of zinc with things when what's right and wrong. Not too far removed. One can't work together with anyone like that. It's not going to work. So, it's a good lesson. 1 Samuel so far is a good lesson for us on how kingship doesn't work. It doesn't. And people, right? King has a queen, has a emperor, empress. Right? It all has a certain, even president, they have a certain definition that comes with it. And that's what the people go by. Rather than what's God's guidance and all that. When it comes to having a designated place in the whole, make it work as a whole. Yes. Well, anyway, not much else to say here about all that. Uh, I guess a little prayer should go out to all who suffered under such incredible torture. Uh, Saul killing himself. Mm. Sometimes I wonder who needs the prayers more. The ones that suffered and were the victims, or the ones that did the doing. Yeah? I think that I mentioned the anguish that I felt in these torture chambers and these castles deep underground. Ooh, it's creepy. Still creepy. The anguish. Can we even fathom what some people went through? Can we even? I'm sorry. All one can be is just sorry. Please forgive all of our ancestors. All right. There it is. One can't change the world overnight. I'm very well aware of that. But one can hope. That as time goes by, people stop hurting each other so badly. Right? Yes? Well, I'll leave you with that. Yes? Okay? God's love and blessings always. May He protect you. And I will talk to you another time.